Okay, good morning. So, we're going to talk about two sections in one today, 6.3 and 6.4, solving percent problems. Now, it's not difficult at all right? I'm going to help you out with a way to set this up. So, ask yourself, have you ever seen this problem before? Okay? So, 27 if there we go. 27% of what number is 54, okay? So to help us solve this problem, I'm going to introduce you into the percent proportion. And we're going to use this percent proportion for every single problem. All right? So remember, a proportion is a fraction equal to a fraction, and percent just means that it's going to have a percent in it. So here's how we set it up. We have the amount divided by the base equals the percent over 100, okay? Now, this word base, okay? That number will always come after the word. It always comes after the word of, okay? Always, no matter what, always. Remember, it's always. Okay? Let me help you out one more time there. Always. Do you see the point I'm trying to make? So when I look at this previous problem here, this example, 27% of what number is 54, all I got to do is label. So the 27%, well, see the percent symbol that goes right here? All right, where the percent symbol is in my percent proportion. Here's the word of, and what's it say? Well, it says what number? So since I don't know what that number is, I put an X. And then the amount, well, that's going to be the number left over. 54. Okay? So when we look at this, let me write it down here. 54 over X equals 27 over 100. Notice we have a proportion, and we know to solve this, all we do is cross multiply. So I get 27 times X equals 54 times 100. And then from here, I just solve. 27x equals 5,500 or 5,400. Okay? And I will divide both sides by 27 to give me x equals, well, let's see here, 5,400 divided by 27 is 200. So I'm going to rewrite that statement. So 27% of 200 is 54. Okay? And I hope that makes sense. I hope now when you look at this problem, and I know we've seen it before. I know we've seen it before. I hope now it makes a little bit more sense. So from here on out, all I'm going to use is that percent proportion. So let's do a bunch of examples, okay? 30 is what percent of 90? All right, so let's set up our percent proportion. So the first thing I look for is the word of. Well, the number after the word of is 90, so that goes down here. Okay, now clearly they're asking for what percent. So there's my x, because I don't know what that percent is. 30 is left over, so that goes right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do here first, you see that 30 over 90? I'm going to reduce that. That actually reduces down into 1/3. I'll leave that up to you to do, okay? So now what I'm going to do, excuse me, is I'm going to cross multiply. So that gives me 3x equals 100. Then I will divide both sides by 3, okay? To give me x equals, well, let's write this out. Remember, it's a percentage. All right, it's a percent. So I'm going to have to divide. So what I'm going to do over here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, let's just write this into a mixed number. So 3 goes into 1. It doesn't. 3 goes into 10 3 times. So that's going to be a 9. Drop down. 3 goes into 10 3 times. Okay. That's going to be a 9. Drop down. And I'm going to stop right here. Here's my whole number. Here's my numerator. There's my denominator. Okay. So x is going to equal 33 and 1/3%. Because remember, they asked for what percent. Okay. All right. So let's just keep going here. Example. What number is 8% of 120? Well, once again, we set up the proportion. So what number is 8% of 120? Well, 8%. 8's going to go there. Here's the word of. The number to the right is going to be 120. So the what number is x. Now I'll cross multiply. So I get 100 times x equals 8 times 120. All right. That's going to give me 100x equals 960. And then I divide both sides by 100. X equals, or remember, if you're dividing by 100, okay, that means the decimal on the far right, you're moving it 2 places to the left. So x equals 9.6. All right, let's try another one. 65% of what number is 52? So set up your proportion. So 65%, I see that, so that goes right here. Here's the word of. Well, I don't know what number that is, so I write an x. And the 52 goes in the numerator. Once again, I cross multiply. So I get 52 times 100 equals 65x. All right. So 52 times 100, well, that's going to be 5,200 equals 65x. All right. Then I divide both sides by 65 to give me x equals 5,200 divided by 65 is 80. So the answer is x equals 80. All right. Let's try another one. How about 15.4 is 5% of what number? All right, so set up your proportion again. Okay, I see the percent symbol, so I know a 5 goes there. There's the word of. I don't know what number that is, so I put an x. And I put 15.4 in the numerator. So now I cross multiply. 15.4 times 100 equals 5 times x. So remember, when you're multiplying by 100, you move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So it's going to be 1,540 equals 5x. Then we divide both sides by the coefficient in front of the x to give me x equals 1,540 divided by 5 is 308. Okay? All right. Let's do a couple more here. We'll do a couple more and we'll call it a day. All right. What percent of 40 is 8? So, once again, set up your proportion. All right. What percent? Well, I don't know. So I put an X there for the percentage. Here's the word of. I look to the right. Number's 40, which means the 8 goes up top. Now I will cross multiply. 8 times 100 equals 40 times x. Now 8 times 100, that's 800. All right, and then I will divide both sides by 40 to give me x equals, well, 800 divided by 40 is 20%. Because remember, they asked for the percent, so you got to make sure you put that percent symbol in there. All right, last one. 414 is what percent of 180. All right. Set up your percent proportion. What percent? There's your x. Here's the word of. I look to the right. That's going to be 180. So 414 goes up top. Now I cross multiply. 414 times 100 equals 180 times x. 414 times 100 is 41,400 times 180x. I will divide both sides by 180 to give me x equals 230%. Okay? So there is 6.3 and 6.4 in a nutshell. Very short lecture. It's just a matter of doing a bunch of examples and understanding the percent proportion, and then how do we place the numbers within that proportion. Okay? So I will see you in the next video.